This is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go burying us just like that! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down to me. You fuel the fire because I want it! Are you gonna say, hey, you dig it?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag. Obviously a tough weekend, especially for me. I had to make the drive up to Jacksonville and then the long drive back home. So we're gonna get into that. But first, guys, make sure you hit that like, subscribe. If you haven't done already, make sure you do it. Help your boy out. Obviously, you can see me on Twitter, Instagram, pretty much all the social media platforms at MTAG1993. You boys got the Cowboys saved. That'll get you kind of everything you need to be. But we'll get into the game. What's up, Doug? Saw my man Doug out at the game. I don't know if he left. Hopefully, I don't know. We talked about it. We said this is a game that the Cowboys shouldn't take lightly. Jacksonville, if you saw any of my earlier shows, I said this is a team you don't want to. I'd rather play them earlier than later because I thought with their coach and kind of got some stability. Trevor Lawrence, I've been seeing him since high school. Good quarterback. That this team had to be ready to play, and unfortunately, the defense is not ready to play, and that's a little bit of a trend. We're going to get into that. We've gotten some injuries. A lot of people wanted Anthony Brown gone. Was happy to. It wasn't disappointed when he got hurt, but boy, maybe we missed him a little bit more than we thought. But we'll get into it. That line, is blowing up. Let's just see. We need real answers for that 3rd and 10 pass. Absolutely. Definitely want to get into that. I'm not getting emotional until playoff season. Absolutely. Jose, I'm going to get in a little bit of that. My man Jimmy D, he's out. Leave me solo. Some family business to take care of, but he'll be back next week. I thought it was because his Falcons lost, Cowboys lost. He just didn't want to be part of this, but we're gonna get into all of that though. And Jose brought up a good point. And you guys, the NFL, it's like this. You have so many ups and downs, and it just seems like when the Cowboys lose, the world crumbles. And we got to beat every team, and we got to beat them by 20. Now, we've lost 4 games or 10-4. I'd say go back and look at the schedule and tell me what you think would be at this point. But that doesn't hide the fact that this is a winnable game. It doesn't hide the fact that it's disappointing. You're up 27-10. I was at the game, so my memory of things could be hazy. So I'm going to need you guys to step in if I slip up any. But you guys know at the games you don't have the ability to replay. You can't rewind. You can't look back. And like I said, I had a 5-hour, 4.5-hour drive home after the game with all the traffic and stuff. So I didn't get home till like 11 o'clock. Really had to work on Monday, so I've had no time to digest anything. So let's talk about the game. Start out fast. We talked about that. That was one of the things we needed to do. Get the offense moving. Start off fast. I think check the box there. A lot of people are giving Dak hate, and we're going to get into that. Who do you kind of blame? You got to blame someone for the loss. How Dak still gets heat for it, I don't know, but just from my eyes watching the game, he looked like the least of our problems. I think he was 23 of 30. He ran, which he hasn't really done much. He had some design runs and we're moving the ball pretty well. I mean, running the ball not as explosive as probably we would like, but we were definitely moving the ball. On the other side, you look at Jacksonville. We're containing them pretty good, right? We got a pick early, I think, in the first half, but they were running the ball effectively, and that was the concern. I didn't even know LVE went out in the first series, the first quarter, and that was, and I kept seeing, I just saw in the chat need a bench Bar. I'm like, why the hell is Bar covering a running back, or why is Barr doing this? That's just not his skill set at this point of his career. And I honestly, I didn't know LVE was hurt. So either they got stuck, Clark was there. I don't know. That one still puzzles me. If you guys got an answer for that one, watching the game, what was going on, the thought process there. But yeah, the defense looked shaky early, but we're jumping out 27-10. You say, all right, we're going to get things rolling. We're going to force them to kind of pass, pin our ears back. But the one thing I'll say that the Jaguars did, and this has been a trend, and this is where you got to put it on the defense, and Dan Quinn's going to have to come up with something. These teams are running what I would call little gadget plays. They're getting the ball out quick. They're throwing quick to the wide receivers. So they're not getting any opportunity to rush. They're almost using that against us. And I think that comes back to a lot of what I think Tank or someone said earlier in the season is when we had a little bit of trouble in Green Bay is people got to stay disciplined. So we've got some trouble. I mean, we're going we got Philly. Your boy's going to be there. So the only thing you got is the positive. If you want me to build you up, the positive that you can go with is these eyes have never walked out disappointed when we played Philly, and that's going back to '96. So I've seen Dallas play Philly the most of all the games I've been to, and I've never seen us lose. So I only intend to start on Christmas Eve. I ain't flying all that way to come home with empty pockets. So I expect Dallas backs against the wall to show out and show out hard. So let me just check the chat just to see what you guys got to say. May have been Dak's best game. Yeah, I think it was definitely one of his better games. The pick early, that's on the quarterback. All the, interceptions are always going to fall on the quarterback. That's just the way it is. The one early, he was getting, someone grabbed him. He tried to throw the ball anyway. Probably should have held on to it. It sailed, pick, bad decision. That's bad decision. That's on the quarterback. The last play of the game, I'll be quite honest with you guys. It was coming in my direction. I couldn't see it. It looked like it hit off his foot. Like if I didn't have my normal seat. I was way up high, so I couldn't really see it. Jacksonville doesn't have that board that we got at AT&T, so you're just using the vision that you got. And where I was sitting, I couldn't see it. But then I look back at the replay. I mean, the ball hit him right in the chest, hit him in the hand. You got to come up with that play. That's first down. First down, we're on the other side, right at midfield on the other side. We're going to be taking a field goal, game over. And I know a lot of people. I got comments of, hey, you don't throw it to him, you got to throw it to CD. But I mean, they were doubling, tripling him, at that point of the game. My biggest issue, and yeah, no more Barr. I'm happy that these flaws are being exposed now before the playoffs. No, definitely. I believe in Quinn. I believe that he's going to get it cleaned up. Need to play the fast linebackers like Clark, Cox. Why doesn't Cox play that much? Can anyone fill me in on that? I know he came off an injury, but that sideline to sideline speed, I thought that was, thought that's something we wanted, and I just don't really see him getting in there. But going back, not to sidestep because I know I wanted to get you chats and all that kind of stuff. But when we got that fumble and there was a couple minutes left, I know a lot of people said run, 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 burn the timeouts, and I get it. And you can't say that cost it only because you don't know how Jacksonville would have ran their offense without having that timeout. But what I will say is I thought they should have. I'm always for going for the win. I thought that they should have threw the ball on first down. You know, heavy set, play action pass, dump it off to one of the tight ends, get 5 or 6 yards, maybe get a first, whatever it's going to do. I think if you throw the ball, I think you throw the ball on first down if you're going to do it. High percentage play. It's going to be a completion. If they don't, if they cover it and nothing's there, then Dak just runs, goes to the ground. They got to use the timeout anyway. So that was my biggest issue with that play because nothing ever should have happened after that. We got the ball a minute and a half. It was over. I mean, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was. The game was over. Their momentum was gone. The fans were leaving the stadium. Everyone knew it was over. And as Danny Green said, we let them off the hook. And that was the disappointing part. No Brown needs to call Lester Hayes.
Yeah, well, you'll get some of that stick 'em, or what are you talking about? He was playing so good that 88 only had 7 targets or something like that. No, he was playing good. They should have fed the ball to him more. You could see what CD does in open space. I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys, how you guys feel about him, but he has just gone to another level in the last 6 weeks. This is kind of the receiver that we all expected. And when he gets that ball in open space, man, he makes some plays. I mean, he gets that yak, and that's what we need. That's what we need. Hopefully, you get T.Y. Hilton. I mean, he's not going to be the answer. He's not going to be the savior. I think Gallup is a concern because it just doesn't seem like they're they're getting him involved. I think it was last week they got him involved early, and they kind of, I don't know if that was game. He got a couple touchdowns, or that one or that before, and you thought you were starting to get something going. But on that third down play, where I don't know why they threw the ball on that deep pass, but if you're going to do that, wouldn't you throw that to Gallup? I mean, he's the guy that high points the ball. No one better than anyone on the team. Why wouldn't you utilize him for that? Maybe you get a cheap PI. You never know. But I just really didn't understand throwing to Brown in that spot. I don't care if it's one-on-one. I would have tried to set it up to where you got Gallup. But we are witnessing the Oklahoma CD. I agree. No, I agree. I got to get some of these chats on. I'm running solo, so I got to get that on there. But definitely. You think Hilton's going to be huge for us? I think he's going to help. Don't get me wrong. But do you think he can be the difference maker? You guys, let me know in the chat. Do you think he's going to be that difference maker for the offense to kind of, shoot, we're putting up 34 points a game, 30 plus points a game, but I'm talking about critical situations. If they're going to take CD out of the play, which they, double cover, triple coverage, get him out of play. Who's going to step up? Is T.Y. Hilton the guy that you've got all the confidence that's going to step it up more than Gallup and more than than Noah Brown? Security blanket. I hope he is. I think that Schultz is his security blanket. I would like it to be someone else. Schultz scares me when he gets that ball in his hands. I always think he's going to fumble, but looked like the ball he threw was out of bounds. Yeah, no, it was. It was just if you're talking about that deep play again, it happened on my sidelines, but I was way up high. I was just livid when I saw that pass. That was just that was a big mistake. So, what do you guys think? Let's we talk about Jackson, but your boy when they lose, everyone goes crazy, and I get a lot of heat. I get these Jacksonville fans talking all this noise. And there was an interesting thing I saw in the stadium, and maybe I'm being mean, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But I was kind of surprised in their stadium. They had their division championship flags. Usually we got the Super Bowl flags. You go to a stadium, even give Philly, they got the Super Bowl flag. You go to New York, they got a couple Super Bowl flags. The Jaguars had 3 division flags in their stadium. That was what they were proud of. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know, but I just thought that was kind of odd. So Ty is about to do what Beasley was for Romo and Dak. I hope you're right, Jose. I hope you're right. You've been right on a few things. Some of your booty stuff you've been right on. You called it out early. So I got to give Jose maybe some props. He might know a little bit more than leading on. He might have some into the Cowboys locker room, but what do you guys think moving forward? Are you guys ready to pack it in? Do you guys have no hope? We're going to be the 5th seed. I don't think anything's really going to change that. Obviously, the division title is probably out of reach. Philly would have a monumental collapse, which I don't think they're going to do. I know I just read that Hurts may not play, so we got some built-in excuses, if you know what I mean, possibly on Saturday with a sprained shoulder. If he is hurt, I hope he plays. I'd rather play him at full. I want Philly at their best. I want us at their best, and let's make this thing happen and see where it goes. But I would understand if Philly, if he definitely does have some injuries, I think they're going to be a little bit guarded with some of the guys, and that's the mistake. That's going to be the mistake that could do them in the playoff time. We saw it with Dallas. You cruise to the finish line, and you don't play those games that matter late in the season. And I think, hey, we lost. But the benefit of Dallas, think about it. They got to play Philly. That's a prideful game. I don't care who's playing. they're going to have to. Philly's coming to play, and we got to come to play. We're playing Tennessee at Tennessee. Tennessee is playing for a division title, even though they're struggling. Their division stinks. They still got a shot. The next week, we're playing Washington. Washington's fighting for their life. They're going to have a lot to play for. Maybe our seeding is pretty much locked in. We got nothing to play for. Maybe we play a half and rest our guys. I don't know. But the thing, if you're going to look for the silver lining, if you can find one, is there's meaningful games that the Cowboys are going to have to play every single week. So they're going to have to step it up. Dan Quinn is going to have to, we all praise him, and I praise him as much as anybody, but they're going to have to step it up. And to Steve's point, they're going to have to clean up some messes. Was there a lot of penalties, Jose, in that game? Again, I was there, so I don't recall a lot of penalties. I haven't seen penalties being a huge issue, but I think more than the penalties, I think they've got to clean up some of their mental lapses. And that's the thing when you're playing Philly, you're playing these quarterbacks that have the ability to run. And I was very impressed with Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, that was to be expected. You got to be disciplined. If you don't, these quarterbacks that got some mobility are going to make you pay. We had him sacked 2 or 3 times, and man, it just didn't happen. I never pack it in until we have no more games to play. Been doing this a long time. I agree, Doug. I agree. Me. You kind of let it out on the way home. You get a little frustrated, but at the end of the day, we're 10-4. And I don't know who said it. I responded to their tweet. They said that it's disgraceful, or we shouldn't even be allowed in the playoffs. We back in. How do you back in? I never understood that philosophy, backing into the playoffs. We won 10 games. We're 10-4. More than likely, at worst, going to be 12-5. Could be 13-4. And you back into the playoffs. I don't understand that. We're either going to be the 5th seed. If Philly collapses, we're going to be the 1. So I don't understand that whole backing into the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. Let's see the difference this year. We beat 4 teams that are headed to playoffs. We thrashed an 11-3 team. We beat a 10-4 Super Bowl team. We blasted the other 2 playoff teams in our division. Absolutely, I think we're more battle tested. I agree, we're more battle tested this year than we were last year. There was also a comment that someone said that this defense is soft. I mean, what do you guys say when you hear someone saying our defense is soft? I mean, I played sports. I never played at a professional level, but I played all the sports, and growing up, I wrestled in high school. I don't know too many athletes that, especially if you're at a professional level, that would be soft. They wouldn't be playing in the game. And Micah Parsons ain't soft. Tank ain't soft. Diggs, the rest of them guys. That's an easy out. It's an easy thing to say. I think what we've got a problem with is we need guys to step up. Kelvin Joseph had his opportunity, and a lot of people are hoping he'd do well, and he blanked the bed. He played bad. Bland has played pretty good, but he's kind of stuck in our slot. So he's our slot corner. So we still don't have one on the outside. Now, we signed a guy, last week. I mean, you're picking up guys now. I don't know what you're going to get. You got, Nashawn Wright. I mean, these are your 4th, 5th, 6th cornerbacks, and they're probably that for a reason. So Dan Quinn's going to have to scheme to protect that, that side. So whether it be you're going to get Diggs shadowing the best receiver, or you're going to do old school, Dion used to just take out the second receiver. They double up the top receiver, and they kind of, Dion would take that side of the field away. I don't think Diggs is Dion, so I don't know if we have that luxury with this team, but they're going to have to scheme something. Joseph's time, he's been good on special teams, so we'll give him that. But he just looked terrible. He looked terrible, and I was way up high, and he looked terrible. It was pretty bad. Diggs was burnt toast year 1. We just don't have the time to develop Joseph like you had with Diggs. No, I agree. He's in year 2. I think everyone wanted him to get to that level. Nothing would be better for the Cowboys than you have a Kelvin Joseph, Bland, Diggs as your secondary. You're locked in for years. You've got a couple on rookie contracts for a few more years because you're going to have to pay Diggs. So in a perfect world, that's what you gotta you want. You would love that to happen, but for whatever reason, Joseph was pretty good at Kentucky. And he was at LSU. I know he had some. I don't know if you call him off the field issues, but he had some. He had some problems to where he became available, but he made plays. And yeah, I miss Lewis. Jay Lou was, he's good, but Bland's doing a good job, in his absence. We just got to figure out who we're going to put out opposite Diggs that's going to be consistent because, let's look ahead to the Philly game. Um, you've got some pretty good receivers. Now, if Hurts doesn't play, maybe that changes things. I don't know, but they're going to have some receivers that's going to be a problem. We don't have the DBs that can cover all of them, so we're going to have to figure things out. So hopefully, and again, you got to believe in Quinn's going to get it done. We've got these, I believe Jose said we've got this time to make things happen, work through the issues, and get ready for the playoffs. And Jerry has to be so pissed that he didn't even speak to the media. Yeah, for him not to speak to the media, he had to be pretty pissed off because he loves hearing himself talk. So some of that could be for show. It was definitely, as a fan, it was pretty disappointing. Now we were 4-point favorites. Jacksonville was no pushover, and like I said early on, don't take that team lightly. They're getting better and better, and Doug Peterson's a good coach. He won in Philly. They had Urban Meyer there last year. That was disaster. So Jacksonville's got a bright future if they can draft well. They got some young guys, and they got a quarterback that can be a franchise quarterback. Call him spicy because his gameplay definitely is not bland in no way, shape, or form. Absolutely, he's been heaven sent. That was a great draft. Great draft pick to get him in fifth round. Let Diggs become Revis Island. Move Bland outside in Sheffield to slot. See, my thought would be move Bland to the outside too. But again, I'm no expert, but everyone I've talked to, everything I've listened to has all said Bland's got his strength is in the slot receiver, slot corner spot. He's not as good outside. So I agree. If we can get, we got to try something. It ain't gonna get worse, right, on that side. So I do think they got to mix it up. But I think, to the point is Diggs is going to have to take somebody out. And we got to figure out who that receiver is each week. Quinn's going to identify it, and it's going to be Diggs. You're on him. You travel him. Because they don't throw his way. They haven't thrown Diggs' way much. You can say, well, he got 11 picks last year. He's only got 3 or whatever this year. Well, they're not throwing his way. He's not getting those opportunities that he got last year. They tested him a lot more. Belichick didn't draft cornerbacks in the early round either, but his scheme works. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for that, but he had some good cornerbacks too. Let's not get it twisted. He had some good cornerbacks. Just because you don't draft them early doesn't mean that they're that they're not good. There's a hell of a lot of great athletes and great players that go drafted late if you've got a good evaluator talent. Obviously, we had that with Jimmy Johnson, and I plugged it before, but his book Swagger, if you guys are Cowboy fans, football fans, whatever it is, if you're in business, you're in life, it's just a great book. The stories and kind of, he was a psychology major, just kind of the way his view was is very unique, very interesting. And you kind of understand kind of why he was so successful in the way he did, but he definitely had a plan, and he was just an unbelievable evaluator of talent. So, so let's talk about it. Philly struggled a little bit against Chicago. They pulled one out 25-20. Hurts got a sprained shoulder. We're going to see what happens on Saturday. Your boy's going to be there. I don't know if you guys are either, but, the Bills-Dolphins game Saturday night, that was a great game. But more importantly, Indianapolis, I don't know what to do with those guys. They had a 33-0 lead at one point in the game and ended up losing to Minnesota. Now, the only positive to that for me, I didn't want to see Minnesota win. Obviously, it's good for them to lose. It helps us just in case something crazy happens, down the stretch. But I got Justin Jefferson on my fantasy league, so he was doing nothing, and all of a sudden he ended up blowing up. So that was good. San Francisco. What do you guys think about San Francisco? I still say they're the most dangerous team in the NFC. They're the team that I fear the most, and that's to the point. A system works. You get Purdy in there. They're down to their third string quarterback, and they're still winning. They're still playing well. They got a ferocious defense. They lose Debo. They still kind of get things going. So that's it. That's going to be a team that's going to be a problem. And then you have Kansas City. Kansas City against Houston. Now, we had this story last week. You saw it all over the media. You saw it all over the headlines. It was everywhere you look. Dallas and Houston, overtime, disgraceful, this and that. Well, Kansas City went in overtime against Houston and pulled out a win. And I didn't really see much about it. Didn't hear much about it on the radio. Didn't see Stephen A. and Skip or any of them. I didn't see any clips on Twitter with them talking about it. And then the wildest of them all is the New England game. I don't know how that guy's still on the team. Belichick. I honestly I didn't see it till this morning. I thought maybe they were losing. I thought maybe they were down. They're throwing it around. I didn't know it was a tie game getting ready to go into overtime. All they had to do is sit on it. So that was something that you'd never see. And then finally, the Giants, Washington. Giants, you could say they helped us out. We're going to clinch it anyway, but it just makes things a little bit easier. So Giants handle that business. So right now you've got all the teams, looking at the playoff picture. You got the Commanders going against the Vikings. The Giants would be at the Niners. We would be at the Bucks. Your boy got the tickets already, so I'll be there. Eagles and Bills would get the first round bye. Then you got Dolphins at Chiefs, Chargers at Bengals, Ravens at Titans. So pretty good lineup. We all know that's going to change. So we'll see how it goes, but it's shaping up to be a very interesting playoff. And looking at it, if you're going to run the odds, if the season ended today, the Cowboys would be at Tampa going against Brady. If you win that, you got to go to Philly. You win that, you're more than likely. I'll just say you're gonna have to go to San Francisco because I think they'd beat the Vikings, but you'd have to go to another one. That's not gonna be easy. It can be done, but it's not gonna be easy. But we just gotta make it happen. Let me see. This chat's blowing up. Your boy's running a little late. I'm seeing people get some love. Want to see Purdy when they're down 10. Nope, absolutely. He hasn't gotten much pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull him and save him for the playoffs. Yeah, you're probably talking about Hurts on that one. I want to see. Yeah, we saw that. Let me go through. I think I saw. Let's see your boy. Hurts injury will make him more of a pocket passer. Let's see now. Well, he's done pretty good. I mean, the thing is, I don't want to hate. I can't. He's played well. You can't deny it. I mean, I'm just going to say now, when he doesn't have his legs and he's got to sit back there and throw, absolutely, it's going to change the way the defense plays him. They're going to be, they could pin the ears back a little bit more. They have to be so cautious. And yeah, get ready for Minshew mania. He's back. That's my boy. He's that's a Secretary of Defense. He's a Philly fan, one of my best friends. And that just goes to show you can have friends who are Philly fans. We have a mutual respect and hate for each other. I just want my boy to make sure, I don't care who plays. When we go down there and win, I don't want to hear we had a backup because you guys have been using that all year about beating us. And no one wants to mention that it was our backup. So we'll see what happens. No, I think we beat Tampa if we play him, but you guys got to be honest. You're going to be a little nervous if we're facing Brady. You're going to be nervous. I think you just got to. He gains that. He garners that much respect as a quarterback. So it's never going to be easy. Hurts has been sacked 36 times. He can't read defense as well. No, that was some of his trouble in college. And he had a couple picks, I think, against Chicago, if memory serves me, just listening to the sports radio on the way home. So I didn't see the game, so I don't know how great he played. but I think it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Let's see. Team I don't want to see more than anyone in the playoffs is San Fran. Yeah, I mentioned that. That's probably the one team that would worry me the most. I think Philly, what you're going to get, we're two familiar opponents. It's going to be just one of those games. I think it's just going to be one of those games. I think you've seen the ones where we've blown them out in the playoffs. We've been on the other side where they've blown us out in the playoffs. I think it's going to be one of those games where emotions are going to be so high if we play them that it's one of the teams is just going to crumble under the pressure. And hopefully, if that happens, obviously it would definitely be it definitely would be Philly. Chats, I appreciate it, man. It's always good. You guys are therapeutic to me, so I appreciate it. I love Cowboys Nation. I got to meet a couple more people out there at the Jaguars game. I missed a few. It's just so hard when you're at the stadium, especially you're not in a familiar area. We parked. I don't know where I parked. It was a good little walk. Fun time. Jacksonville fans have a lot of fun. I grew up in South Florida. Jam Pony Express was a big deal. They were, I believe, they started in Jacksonville, so they had a DJ there doing some Jam Pony. So it was a lot of fun. It was great food, great atmosphere. So it definitely, even though we lost, I did have a good time before the game. Let's just say I did have a good time before the game. Checking out the chat a little more. Then we got to get to Uncle Cheech because we got to get his insight on what's going on. But the Cowboys beat the Bucs. It would springboard in the Super Bowl. Jose, I couldn't agree with you more. I think Dallas needs something. Now, what I was hoping is the Philly game was going to be that. We beat Jacksonville. I thought Philly was going to really springboard the team into confidence and get things rolling. And I thought it would have the reverse effect on Philly. They may drop one more game. We steal the division from them at the end. So I thought that was kind of going to be, the story, but stories aren't always written the way you want it to be written. So let's see the Chads again, slightly nervous just because it's Brady. Yeah, exactly. They've been terrible. I live in Tampa. I can just tell you the fans have turned on them. The team is splintering. They're pointing fingers at each other. So this is a team that's in disarray. The coaching staff has kind of lost them. It's definitely going to be. It's not the same Brady team that you saw the first week. It's not the same Brady team that we saw last year. Legend will be born in the playoffs. His name's Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's been playing well, but I love the 1-2 punch with him and Zeke. I think they complement each other so well, and there would be nothing better than seeing these Cowboys running game really get rolling. You got we didn't even get a chance to talk about Tyron Smith playing. I mean, what a selfless guy, team player. Put the ego aside. I'll go play right tackle. I just want to help this team. He eased himself in. So, we've had some injuries on the offense. We can't have no more injuries. No more injuries anywhere else. Defense has taken too big of a hit. But we've had some of these injuries on the offense, but they've kind of come when we get a guy back. So we haven't really felt the pain of the injuries that we've had on the defensive side. They've been more severe, and we just haven't had the depth that we've had on the offense to make up for that. And definitely, Steve's echoing what Jose said about the opportunity, win that game and against Tampa in the playoffs, and that'll definitely could springboard this team. So I want to just step away for a minute. I want to talk a little bit about maybe the Vegas insider Uncle Cheech. Talk about the week he had. This is what he's got coming up. We're heading down the stretch. You got fantasy football coming up. You got a lot of stuff happening. The playoffs coming through. So you want to fine tune your gambling habits if you have them. I always say for entertainment purposes only. But hey, if you love doing it, then you definitely want to make it happen. So I'm going to bring in my man, Uncle Cheech. We got to see what his thoughts are. What's happening, Uncle Cheech? The man, the myth, the legend. What is going on?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Man short tonight.
Man short, man down. Your boy's running solo. Jimmy said that he's handling family matters, but I think he's just so disgruntled with his Falcons. They brought their young guy in. They thought he was going to do something. I think he threw for like 90 yards. So I think he knows the season's over. And we're getting the love for Uncle Cheech. We got the Secretary of Defense. handling that business. Steve, they all love you. Doug, so you must be making some people money. That's the most important thing, because if you weren't making people no money, there would be no love. They'd be like, hey, we got to find Uncle Cheech. I know he's in hiding, but we got to find him. So what is the good word? How did you do last week? Do you have anything you want to share? Any key parts of your picks that worked out well?
Well, like I was discussing last week, I said they're all professionals. Houston proved it again.
Yeah.
They didn't play a tomato. They played top-tier team, took them in overtime. I hope some of you took the 14 points like I told you.
Yeah, you called it.
Points.
You called it. And I just want to say, Steven, you are 1,000% correct. Your boy's got to get on his game. I got to take a day off of work from doing that. Maybe this Christmas do it, but Uncle Cheech, he needs his own intro video. I got to do better than that. I apologize, but you got the Chiefs. You took the Texans. You told people take them points. You've talked about it. Getting those kind of points in a game in the NFL is very. I mean, you're just asking for some easy money there. So you definitely tried to
I'm telling you. Anyway, I lost my lock. Miami played better than I thought.
They did.
And they actually ran the ball well. They had their chance. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. Don't put money in your pocket. So I lost that. Won my upset, which was Houston.
Yep.
I had San Francisco over Seattle. They covered easily. I had Cincinnati over Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay folded like a deck of cards.
Man.
I lost a Monday game with New England at Arizona. The quarterback got hurt for Arizona. They put in Colt McCoy. He was playing when I was in high school.
And that's the Monday night one's not as fair. I hate to hold you to that, because I ask you for the Monday night picks. I don't know if you do as much research as you do on your other ones. So hopefully people know that.
Well, I did this time.
Okay. So you're prepared now. So you tell me, what do we got going on this week?
All right. Monday night, tonight, lose track of time when you don't do nothing all day. But I'm going to take Green Bay -7. They still have some playoff hopes alive. And Green Bay is cold as hell. Last time I checked, it was 20 degrees when I looked at ESPN over there. This ain't LA now.
Who's Green Bay playing?
What's that?
Who's Green Bay playing?
The Rams.
Oh, the Rams. Oh, tonight. You're talking about tonight.
It's in LA now. They're going to be up there in 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
So I like Green Bay.
Okay.
I'll give it 7.
All right, because you picked Green Bay twice. I had this mind blank. I thought you were talking about the Miami, because I think you got Miami Green Bay. So talk about that one. You got that one going in next week.
That's next Saturday.
Next week's game. Yep.
Yeah. That's my lock. I'll save that later.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Washington at San Francisco. San Francisco's playing good. Good defense. Only give up a couple touchdowns each game. I like San Francisco -7. Their defense is going to keep them in every game.
It's going to be close, win or lose.
New Orleans to Cleveland. I'm going to take Cleveland at home -3.
Not a sexy game.
I just wanted to pick.
Yeah, not a sexy game. I couldn't tell you much about either one of those teams. I know they got Watson back. New Orleans has kind of been shuffling around their quarterbacks or whatever's going on there. That's probably what you call that's your low-hanging fruit game, where that's easy money game for you.
My upset's going to be Buffalo at Chicago. I'm going to take Chicago -9.
Wow.
That's pretty good number of points to give up.
Yeah.
The weather's not going to be a factor to either team. Chicago played pretty tough this week, and they're at home. Buffalo, they're already clinched. So
letdown game?
They could go in there and maybe start pulling some players. You don't know. Chicago, they got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Like I said, a wounded animal, when backed into a corner, that's when they're the most dangerous.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that goes for everybody. My lock is going to be Green Bay at Miami. Miami -4. I'll take Miami. It's
Wow.
a must-win game.
Yeah. No, they need it.
They have to win this game. They got to win at least 2 out of the next 3. They got the Jets, and then they have New England, division rival.
Oh, absolutely.
They have to win this game.
Now Green Bay's bringing the cold with them. It's supposed to be, and I live in Tampa. It's supposed to be very cold around Christmas Day. I don't know if it's gonna get much colder down.
Let me tell you
Florida.
something.
Yeah,
There's cold and there's cold. The cold up there is a hell of a lot worse than the cold down here. The beer isn't going to freeze in my hand like it does up when you're sitting up in Chicago, right?
Oh yeah, no, it happened to me in Chicago. That's
right.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man,
It's cold and it's cold. I think
Oh.
Miami, they showed a good running game. They had over 100 yards rushing.
no, that
Which is-
that was one of the better games. I didn't get to see any games. So I guess I shouldn't, say that. I only saw 3 games on Saturday, but Miami impressed me against the Bills. They should have won. I mean, obviously they didn't, so it don't matter. But they're playing good ball, and they can be a force in the playoffs. They're not going to be an easy out by any stretch in the AFC.
Now, one thing we got to get straight now, we're going to be getting into the playoffs shortly.
Yeah.
Now, am I
Yes.
going to be allowed to pick Dallas or pick
No.
against them
No,
in the playoffs? I can't make that pick either.
Listen. Let me tell you. I'll tell you a couple things. I'll never be able to live it down if that happened. I wouldn't be able to sleep thinking about it. I took my son to the game. He went to the Jacksonville game. I took my nephew. Now, those who follow me, those who know, my nephew's a Denver Bronco fan. I took him to the Cowboys game. I took him to the Cowboys Bronco game last season, and we lost, and it was bad. So my daughter, who you guys know from the early years of when she did the videos, I've been trying to get her back, but she's grown up now, so she's too cool for dad. But my daughter had a test on. They got their exams on Monday, so she said, "Dad, can I just stay home, not go to the game?" I said, "No, that's fine." So I called my nephew and said, "Hey, these tickets are a couple $100. Do you want to go to the game?" Never thought about it, and brought him to the game. He's a jinx. We're 0-2 with him. So I said, no more. You're not allowed to ever come to
You got all kinds of jinxes.
I know. Now that's
You
that's
can't
what
predict the game. You can't take them to the game. But what happens when they lose when you're there?
all right. Here's the deal. It's never my fault. You got to find someone else. I'll take it even a step further, and this will show you guys who don't know or know how crazy I am as a Cowboys fan. So I moved up to Tampa in February of 1996. Now, any of you guys who are Cowboy fans, you should know January 1996 was the last year the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I've been living in Tampa since 1996. The Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since. So I've been living with this every year. They're not winning because I ever since I moved and I lived in Tampa. So I'm very superstitious. I'm very superstitious about everything. People who know me, especially when it comes to the Cowboys, my man right here knows. But I will say, Rob was on the other end when I said that these eyes have never walked out of the stadium disappointed when we played Philly. My buddy and I went to the game, and it was around 96, 97. I forgot what year it was, maybe 98. We were playing Philly at Old Texas Stadium, and Philly was beating our ass the whole game. Then last quarter, Troy Aikman throws a touchdown, hits Anthony Miller for a touchdown. We end up taking the lead. Philly goes down. They go to kick a field goal. They got our old kicker, Chris Bonio. They're going to beat us and da-da-da. They bobble the snap. All hell breaks loose, and we end up winning the game by miracle. Should have never won the game. They were beating us for 50 minutes of the game. So I've been on the other side of that, but I will say I'm very superstitious about certain things. And Dom's not going to no more games. It's already been decided. He's done. You're not picking any more Cowboy games.
Okay, I just wanted to know where the playoffs are. What happens when it gets down to 2 teams?
No, there'll be no pick that week.
No pick? Okay.
Because here's the deal. let's say we were so fortunate and Dallas goes to the Super Bowl. Let's just say, man, just everything comes together and they go. If I allowed you to pick, and let's say we lost, to quote Richie's brother, do you think I could ever forgive you? That's the way it would be, man. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I would not be able to live with myself. Um, so yeah. So anyway, there was no fix. You saw it. There was no $100 bills flying out of his pocket on that game, my man. So, but yeah, let's see with the chat. The same way, Mike. Don't feel bad. Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people do it, and it's what makes sports fun. I know you're a big Miami fan. I don't want to say there's a certain name, right? There's a certain name. If I ever mention a name that's in a circle of a circle, right? So it happens.
I know what you mean. Yeah, well, I'm the same way. Superstition.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun in sports. Now, in reality, it don't mean nothing. But I do so. It's those things you believe in and things you hold on to. But no, a lot of fun. Talking about some of those stories. But yeah, so playoff time, you will do some picks. We're gonna have we're not gonna talk. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have you put your pick in an envelope, and you can't reveal. You got to seal it
Until the game's over.
You can't reveal it until after. Maybe on Twitter, you open. Maybe you do a video and you open the envelope, and
Sure, that sounds good.
that'll be fair. And you guys, Uncle Cheech is on Twitter. I'm trying to help the man. I'm trying to teach him. He's got to get more interactive. He's got so much knowledge, tips, and things like that. So if you guys get a chance, make sure you guys follow Uncle Cheech. If you don't already, he'll make sure he follows you back. We'll have a good time. I'm working on the intro video. I apologize, Uncle Cheech. I got to step up my game. But we'll make it happen. But I'll be in Dallas. You have a very Merry Christmas. If I don't talk to you before then, and we'll see you soon. I appreciate you jumping.
And you too, and your family. Wish them all Merry Christmas.
All righty. All right. Take care.
Right, we'll talk to you.
All right. I'll see you. Bye. Oh, that was always good. It's always good to catch up with Uncle Cheech. You see the picks down the bottom. But yeah, so let me see. We're getting on something. So superstitions with my Cowboys t-shirt. Wear it on game days only. Only wash it when they lose. If the washer, it's in the washer as we speak, and it'll start to get stinky since the Green Bay game. So yeah, I mean it's good to see that everyone has those certain superstitions that you just get, and again, some of it is just being a crazy nut sports fan. But what do we got? Strip Club Cheech, absolutely. He knows where it's at, and I appreciate the love. He does a great job. He enjoys it. Just spreading that knowledge, passing it down to generation to generation. That's what we want. But yeah, talking about superstitions, I've got so many jerseys. I have a superstition with jerseys. If we lose, the jersey goes away. It goes into a recycle bin, and then I kind of go through the jerseys I have, and then start over again. So I'll be breaking out the old school Emmett jersey. That's something I made a mistake. I did not want to bring it to Jacksonville. I wasn't sure how the stadium was. Didn't want to get it ruined. I probably maybe see now you're going to make me think that I cost them a game. So, but yeah. So anyway, had a good time. I'm going to be on Birds vs. Boys podcast in a little bit. They got Philly week, so we're going to be doing you're doing some fun stuff. So if you are hanging out, not doing nothing, check out Birds vs. Boys podcast. Great guys, Philly fan. He's a good dude, Aiden. And then obviously Kevin being a Cowboys fan. Well, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So we'll definitely be I'll be bringing some hype, hopefully some passion, try and get things going. It's gonna be a fun week. Does he know we're hot? Yeah, I think he does. Now, if he told you that, Jose, I can't be responsible for what could happen to you. But he may know. He was up in New York. So, but yeah, said no, good times. But hey, it's been a long weekend for me. I got to catch a plane at 5:40 tomorrow morning. I got to do a little work, and I get back on Thursday. I'm thinking about hopefully maybe if I get back in time and things go well, maybe do a Thursday show. So definitely check it out. And I appreciate the love of all Cowboys Nation. Had a little incident with some Jaguar fan, some video is all in fun. But you guys really came to my back because he attacked me for no reason. And then he attacked me again, and then he blocked me like a coward. I was giving him an opportunity. I'm a fair man. Hey, if you guys win, talk all the noise. You can call me every name in the book, and I don't care. I'll, I can handle it. But you guys, Cowboys Nation, have my back. And I guess he went running and hide. And I said he should have thanked us because we made him relevant for 1 week. He got a lot of views. He got a lot of attention from the media because of it. So if anything, he should have been thanking me. Should have been thanking Cowboys Nation. And that's what I wanted to say to him, but he blocked me. So if you find him, you can tell him that for me. Yeah, no Willie McGinnis. I just actually saw that before I came on. He's not a guy I would mess with anyway, so I don't know what happened in that video. But, yeah, the other guy was on the wrong end of a beatdown, and Willie's probably going to have to pay for it. I met him once at a Super Bowl party. Seems like a really nice guy. So someone put him over the edge. And I didn't entertain Philly fans until they have multiple trophies. Yeah, absolutely. But it's fun. I mean, I love the interaction with other fans as long as it's done in a fun way. As long as you're not getting in my space, I would never get in anyone else's. It's a game. So, and I appreciate you, Steve. I got my back. Hopefully, he was taken care of. Let's just say he'll be back to being, insignificant in social media. He should have used it as a leverage. He could have really had some fun with me today since they won, but he chose not to. And I probably would have played along and had some fun with it too. So it didn't happen. He's a coward, but we move on. We got to handle that business with Philly. Your boy is coming out to the stadium. So I'm going to be bringing the hype. I'm going to be making sure that we are ready to roll, and just understand our backs are against the wall. We're going to see how this team is going to respond. I don't care if Hurts plays. If he don't, let them build an excuse if they want to do that. But we got to go out there and we've got to send a message one way or another. I will make sure Jimmy, hopefully he's watching a replay. He's seeing the love he's getting, but we got to send a message to him, and we got to use, like Jose said, these next 3 games, we got to treat every single one like we got to have that playoff mentality. Even though we clinched, you can't settle. These guys have got to be mentally already in the game. And I know, McCarthy, he'll get it going. We didn't even get on Kellen Moore much. I could talk an hour about that. That's really where I've got some concern. And some of the play calling. Unless, hey, if Dak's changing stuff at the line, I don't know. But we're gonna figure it out. But I'll be at the game. If you guys are at the game, like I said, always give me a holler, man. I love meeting, talking. This has been the best part of being a Cowboys fan, is a social media platform where I've gotten the opportunity to meet a lot of you guys and just, hey, share a beer, talk some football, talk family. I'm gonna have the whole crew out there. So it's not gonna be me alone. I got some family to back me up. I got my son going, my daughter, my wife. So we're going to be rolling 4 deep at AT&T. So we are going to have a good time. And definitely to echo, Doug, Merry Christmas, all you guys. I appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. It only helps your boy out. So I'll leave you with, the old school one. It was, the Philly game years ago. I'll see you on Thursday. Definitely, like I said, if you're hanging around, check out Birds vs. Boys. Hopefully it's live. They didn't tell me what, but they told me 8:15. So if it's pre-recorded, look for it. If it's live, you're going to see me in about 10 or 15 minutes. You guys, have a great Christmas if I don't talk to you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that good stuff. Happy Hanukkah, everything that goes with it. And y'all see you on Thursday. No, I'll see you Thursday on the show. I'll see it out at AT&T Friday and Saturday. We're going to have a hell of a weekend, and your boy will fly home Christmas Day. Very happy with the results, I hope. I'll see you.
And Dak Prescott, being the gentleman that he was, picked him up off that 50-yard line and said, why did you just pack it up? And you stared at him Christ! Now can you dig it?